Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GUT. They're the ones for me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their financing, giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way, from birth to graduation, your first job to your home and your car through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and the programs including financial literacy quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso program, junior cooperatives in secondary schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC grants. The credit union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
This is the GBN Television News for today, Monday, May 11th, 2020. I'm Beverly Telesford.
And I'm Odette Campbell. Coming up in the news this evening, inspections descend into chaos after what was a great one-stop shop opening last week.
Murder accused Brenton Paper Williams makes first court appearance.
The external borders are set to open on the 1st of June.
And no new reports of case of the coronavirus from health officials in 7 days.
On the sporting line tonight, no professional sport in England, at least not until the 1st of June at the earliest.
And in the probe around the globe, TNT students stuck in Barbados, disappointed in government's response. Stay with us. Good evening, this is GBN News at 7. It was a sweet then bitter mood in the country on Saturday. It started off on a celebratory note as stranded cruise ship workers finally touched home soil. But a returnee put a damper on the celebration as she posted a video to social media expressing her disdain about the accommodation on offer. Sharon Blackman-Stephen has been following this development.
19 Grenadians disembarked from Caribbean Princess when they docked outside the Melville Street Cruise Terminal on Saturday afternoon. They were welcomed by various officials, including Tourism Minister Clarice Modest-Cowan. She spoke of the continuous movement of the goalpost as far as the arrival dates were concerned.
I'm expecting the first cruise ship to come on the 21st, because that is the date that we were given. We heard about this cruise ship when it was already in the Caribbean water, and then that is when they told us that they had put some.
Shortly after their arrival at the SGU campus accommodation, controversy was sparked after a video was posted on social media by one of the returnees.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You see? This is our garbage. This is our dumps that we stay in. It's not like we're trying to be ungrateful or anything, but come on. Yeah.
That did not sit well with members of the public. Persons lashed out in the comment section of the Facebook post, spewing verbal venom at those responsible. They were branded as lacking appreciation for the efforts made to bring them home. Their decision to post the video to social media instead of reaching out to the authorities with their complaints was also highlighted as being unwarranted and grossly irresponsible.
Dust does gather quickly, and in the hasty preparation for the unscheduled ships, a final inspection was not done. We apologize for this oversight. It is never our intention to show any disregard to anyone, especially our citizens.
Another group of 29 cruise ship employees arrived on Sunday morning aboard Carnival Glory. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell says safeguarding the health and well-being of all Grenadian citizens is of paramount importance.
The government is now single-handedly bearing the cost of almost $200,000 to provide these facilities because the cruise industry have not accepted responsibility despite earlier agreements to do so.
More than 70 Grenadians on board Norwegian cruise ships in Miami remain without any information about their return.
We are open, of course, to receive stranded Grenadians as long as they have the means to find their way home.
Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Workers at Caribbean Agro Industry who have been retested for COVID-19 have tested negative. This was necessary as contact tracing was carried out into a small cluster of COVID-19 positive cases at the company. And we'll get details in this report.
Grenada's COVID-19 record stands at 21, as additional tests conducted all returned negative. The employees at the Caribbean Agro Industry
cases as a result of it. Everybody was tested at once, but this today is an opportunity to retest them just to ensure that no new infection has occurred from before quarantine and after quarantine.
Delivering a national address on Sunday night, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell told the nation there are no new confirmed cases of COVID-19.
The results for all 84 PCR tests conducted on May 8th are negative for the virus. This includes the 64 people associated with a cluster detected at one place of business. Additionally, the final hospitalized case has been discharged and the remaining 6 active cases are reported to be doing well.
The company remains closed until further notice. Last week, Dr. Clive Landis, Pro Vice Chancellor for the Undergraduate Studies and Research and Professor of Cardiovascular Research at the University of the West Indies, Campbell campus in Barbados, and the chairman of UE COVID-19 Task Force, said the coronavirus COVID-19 has been contained in the English-speaking Caribbean. He said this does not mean that the Caribbean is out of danger, saying the contaminant does not mean the virus has been wiped out in the region, and that the Caribbean will have to learn to live with this threat for another year. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
The business mill will start churning with increased intensity in the next few days and weeks. Additional sectors, including construction, are set to resume operations. The changes were announced last night by Prime Minister and Minister for National Security, Dr. Keith Mitchell. Rena Perry followed his speech and filed this report.
Business that were given the okay to open their doors to the public on selected days are now allowed to serve the public every day. That's according to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell as he addressed Grenadians on Sunday. Over the past few weeks, the government has been slow in reopening Grenada's economy in efforts to mitigate the spread of COVID-19.
Effective Monday, May the 11th, 2020, every day will be designated business day. That is, for the businesses already granted permission to operate and doors to resume work soon. Approved businesses will operate their respective pre-COVID schedules within the allotted time, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The daily curfew remains in place from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m.
While the majority of workers depend on public transportation, Dr. Mitchell said a number of factors are being considered before the resumption of the bus service. From Monday 11th May, additional sectors such as construction, among other businesses, will be open going forward.
Health and safety guidelines have been created, and the contractor for each project must seek and be granted permission from the construction subcommittee before actual work resumes. Other areas slated for reopening this week include real estate services, laundromats, landscapers and gardeners, flower shops, consumer credit stores and companies offering payday loans.
For GBN News, I am Rena Pear reporting.
Thanks, Rena, for that dispatch. And what we can tell you is that we have had several questions today from the news desk with regard to the construction sector and the location of the desk where permission must be sought and received. We can tell you that it has been established at the Ministry of Works, the Ministry of Works located within the ministerial complex in the Botanic Gardens. And as Rena mentioned in her report, the country goes into a phased reopening mode as of this week. All this aimed at kickstarting the economy, which has been on a COVID-19 pause. The government says in April alone, its revenue fell short by $30 million over the same period in 2019. It expects a similar performance for the next few months. Well, the question is, just how badly will the corona pandemic affect the Grenadian economy? How will people be able to cope? We ask you to pose those questions and get answers on tonight's Beyond the Headlines program. Our panelists this evening, career banker and financial analyst, Mr. Michael Ponte-Archibald, and private sector representatives in the Senate, Mr. Christy Ali. They will dissect the issues and break down in bite-sized pieces as we go stateside. So pull up a chair, sit up close to the television because this concerns you. You wouldn't want the information secondhand. So do join us tonight on Beyond the Headlines as usual at 8:35.
Now, while many await the reopening of Grenada's borders, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell said while this is imminent, the Tri-Island state is not there as yet. However, the Prime Minister noted that at the most recent emergency meeting of heads of CARICOM, a collective decision was taken to gradually ease travel restrictions as the virus has been largely contained in the region. Akisha Felix has this report.
Grenada may open its borders as early as June. That's according to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell. The decision to close all ports of entry was made in an effort to minimize the spread of the deadly coronavirus. The Prime Minister, while addressing the nation on Sunday, emphasized that this status quo will be maintained. However, in light of the most recent emergency meeting of CARICOM heads, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell said a collective decision was taken to gradually ease travel restrictions.
We collectively agreed to start gradually relaxing the restrictions for travel, as the pandemic in the region has been largely contained. Governments, airlines, and the hotels are now finalizing the details of this phased reopening, assuming that the requisite protocols are in place. We therefore expect to open our borders in the first week of June.
The Prime Minister said while adequate health and safety guidelines are in place, it is against this backdrop that the decision was taken to cancel Spice Mass 2020.
This same rationale also influenced the decision to cancel Spice Mass 2020 because we simply cannot compromise the health, safety and well-being of our people.
Akisha Felix for GBN News.
In last night's address, the Prime Minister spoke about the unwanted violent incidents, and today one person was brought before the court. He's been referred to as Paper. We believe that's his nickname. He was brought to court today to face charges in the death of Ronaldo Wise, and we'll have that story in the second segment of the news at 7.
Also coming up, the traffic department is overwhelmed by owners seeking inspections. Stay with us.
Republic Bank assures all personal, small business, commercial and corporate banking customers of our continued support during these uncertain times. We are pleased to advise that all our credit officers are available to assist you with navigating your finances during these challenging times. We encourage you to contact your relationship officer at the bank for discussion and advice on your particular circumstance for a solution that meets address your specific needs. Additionally, you may email us at customercare@republicgrenada.com or send us a message on Facebook or call 444-2265. We look forward to continue offering the best possible quality and personalized service to you.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 350 local anywhere calls and texts. With the always-on prepaid plans, all for $25. Keep your number when you switch to Grenada's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Our superheroes are all among us. They don't wear capes nor have superpowers. In fact, they appear to be quite ordinary. They are the ones who provide us with food. They are our farmers, our grocery store workers, our vendors. They are our fishermen. They are the ones who heal us, our doctors and medical practitioners. They are the ones who protect us, our police officers. They are all the other essential workers who make this period bearable. And how can we forget our teachers, dedicated to educating our children no matter the circumstance? To everyone who is doing their part to make sure the wheel keeps turning, Ariza says, thank you.
Pharmacy offers both wholesale and retail pharmaceutical and over-the-counter products. We have the most competitive and affordable prices. We are the agents for Vit Plus multivitamin for healthy everyday lifestyle and Sanatogen powder. Hills and Valley Pharmacy supplies the best quality, name brand clinical products such as Rescue Oil, Bio Oil, Neutrogena, Aveeno, and Clarisil. We offer the most convenient opening hours. Our telephone numbers are 435-6904 or 6903. Remember, at Hills and Valley Pharmacy, your health is our business. We care.
Now open, Hills and Valley Medicare Center, your one-stop for medical supplies, massage therapy, physiotherapy, and an in-house physician. At Hills and Valley, your health is our business. The Grenada Bankers Association wishes to advise the public that effective Tuesday, May 12, 2020, commercial banks will open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
The NIS is committed to your well-being and continues to provide the same excellent service to you from the safety of your home or office. Therefore, from April 2020, all remittances must be submitted electronically to nisremit@nisgrenada.org. The e-remittance template can be downloaded from our website at www.nisgrenada.org/e-submission. Alternatively, you can provide us with your email address and the required Excel spreadsheet will be sent to you. Call 440-3309 or chat with us on social media for more information. NIS, serving you because we care.
The Grenada Distillers Limited joins the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique in the fight against COVID-19. Only together we can beat this pandemic. As a corporate citizen, we have temporarily stopped the production of rum, and our focus has been on the production of a sanitizing solution to assist in the fight against this dreadful pandemic. We have commenced free distribution to the senior citizens' homes, children's homes, and other vital organizations around the country, and made this product available to you at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. We encourage you to please listen and obey the guidelines issued by our health authority and the Royal Grenada Police Force. Together, and only together, we can beat COVID-19.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Republic Bank assures all personal, small business, commercial, and corporate banking customers of our continued support during these uncertain times. We are pleased to advise that all our credit officers are available to assist you with navigating your finances during these challenging times. We encourage you to contact your relationship officer at the bank for discussion and advice on your particular circumstance for a solution that meets your specific needs. Additionally, you may email us at customercare@republicgrenada.com or send us a message on Facebook or call 444-2265. We look forward to continue offering the best possible quality and personalized service to you.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Overwhelming, probably the word that could be best used to describe the situation at the National Stadium today, as there was an overflow of motor vehicles and owners at the National Stadium for inspection. It was nothing compared to last Monday, which saw a faster moving line. GBN spoke with head of the traffic department on the situation.
Up to 3 p.m. Monday, which should have been the lock-off time for motor vehicle inspection, there were still people waiting in long lines to be facilitated. This has forced the traffic department to extend inspection time up to 6 p.m. Superintendent of Police in charge of the traffic department, Randy Connaught, says this created added pressure.
Today, I must say it is indeed a challenge, and we have since at this point cleared and inspected over 425 motor vehicles. The lines are still long, and what we have since done, looking at the time frame that we have set from since this morning to ensure that inspections are done in a very smooth and efficient way, some discussions were held, and we definitely saw the need from since morning to extend the inspection period.
Lines extended as far as the Kirani James Athletic Stadium and into the car park. An additional day has been granted. He explained the rationale for such decision.
So it's another very hectic day at the National Stadium, and because we also realize the need to continue this inspection, we have now advertised on the national medium and also on the social websites that our inspection would continue tomorrow beginning from 9 a.m. Because of the limited number of vehicles we were seeing for the first and second period, we actually opened up for vehicles whose expiration would be on May 15th. With that announcement, we would have seen a number of other vehicles coming in now. And I think the volume of vehicles that we are seeing today is actually within the May period. Suffice to say, because of the volume, we had to actually use the parking area at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium and also at the Wesley College School ground.
At 3 p.m., over 450 vehicles were inspected. Superintendent Connaught says provisions will be made to accommodate persons running into the curfew hours.
The challenge today is because of the turnout of the number of vehicles, and definitely we don't have any control over how and when people turn up to the inspection centers. Going forward, we would definitely restrict the numbers. We do advise that persons take advantage of all the inspection sites because you can go to either of the inspection sites.
Christelina John, GBN News.
30-year-old Westerhall resident Brenton Paper Williams made his first court appearance on Monday at the St. George's Magistrates Court in relation to Grenada's 9th homicide. Paper is accused of causing the death of Ronaldo Wise, better known as Ballhead, who succumbed to chop wounds in Westerhall on Thursday night. The accused also sustained chop wounds that was treated and was released in police custody to assist with further investigation.
And illegal dumping continues to be a bane for the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority. The General Manager, Mr. Lyndon Robinson, is especially concerned about increased illegal dumping of waste in several parts of the island. Mr. Robinson has been speaking with GBN's Christelina John.
Collection of white goods have been put on hold because of the ongoing fire at the Perseverance landfill and in keeping with COVID-19 regulations. The Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority is concerned that some parts of St. Andrew and areas in the south of the island have become major dumping sites.
We notice in some cases that we have illegal dumping has been on the increase, and some parts of the east of the island and some parts of the south. We associate the illegal dumping of bulky items in the south with the collapse of the Molyneux Road, and it is now an additional burden using the alternate route to get to the landfill. So persons are using some open spaces in the south to dump, in particular, the white goods and derelict vehicles. And also in the St. Andrews area, we have noticed some of that, and we are asking the public to be mindful that that practice should not continue.
Mr. Robinson says there's been a reduction in the volume of waste on days when there is no commercial activity, but there is still a major challenge.
But we also notice that for the days when we have these commercial activities, along with that normal volume of waste generated as per usual, we have an increase in what we call bulk items, and bulky items are finding themselves in the normal municipal waste. And in some cases, the municipal waste collection containers, which we call bins, the communal bins, are actually being abused, and they are overflowing with these bulky materials. And we are appealing to the public to cease that practice. It is burdening our system, and it is putting an additional challenge on the waste collection system that we are currently operating.
The general manager reminds people that they would be penalized once found guilty.
Yes, we have a representation from the Royal Grenada Police Force on our board, and we are working through that representation. Our zonal supervisors are working as per usual, and we will take the necessary measures along with our partner agency, the Environmental Health Department of the Ministry of Health, to enforce the law with regards to the illegal dumping.
Solid Waste Management Authority has assured the public that an announcement will be made as to when the collection of white goods will resume, so that people could call with their request for collection. Christelina John, GBN News.
We take a break, but still ahead, regional exams to be held in July. Stay with us.
It's new, innovative and classy, and it cut above the rest. Your one-stop shop for bathtubs, kitchenette, customized doors and windows, and even a new paint job. We also sell quartz and solid surface countertops. At M&N Hardware, we offer best prices, excellent service, efficiency, and reliability. Visit us at Dusty Highway, Grandin, St. George, or call telephone number 440-6757. M&N Hardware, from foundation to roof. Let's build together.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good, old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
The Grenada Bankers Association wishes to advise the public that effective Tuesday, May 12, 2020, commercial banks will open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Esplanade Mall, something for everyone. Go on a shopping spree today and experience some magic.
Tell us how, say it loud. Where were you when you fell in love?
Cooking up a storm tonight. Excuse me. The bill was so high and then so low.
I used my frequent shopper card.
Oh, your frequent shopper card.
Value Supermarket, where good food begins.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 70 channels and 12 in HD. All for $200 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Welcome back to News at 7. External exams will be written in July this year. The decision was made during the first emergency virtual meeting of the Council for Human and Social Development on Education. More details on the decision in this report.
The meeting was attended by Ministers of Education, Senior Ministry of Education officials from across CARICOM and key stakeholders. The Registrar of the Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, Dr. Wayne Wesley, made a presentation explaining the administration of the modified examination process for this year's exams. He explained that though the proposed schedule for examinations is for July, there was need for a regional consensus, bearing in mind the impact of COVID-19 and the respective national protocols. It was also agreed upon that examinations be administered via an e-testing modality in countries that are in the position to do so, And in countries where there are infrastructure challenges, candidates would be allowed to sit paper-based examinations. The CXC, in collaboration with the University of the West Indies, presented another proposal at the meeting in relation to requirements for CAPE applicants for 2020 admission. Their proposal to accept CAPE Unit 1 plus previous results to contribute towards enrollment to UE for the next academic year was accepted by the Council. After negotiations and consultations, and on evaluating education and health officials' ability to create a safe environment for students to prepare for and sit the regional exams, the meeting arrived at an agreement for exams to be held in July 2020. Following SCAFA's recommendations and strategies for the safe, phased opening of schools, ministries of education guided by national health officials will adapt respective national conditions to ensure students, teachers and staff can safely prepare for the July sitting. The proposal is that results be released in the first week of September 2020. Josephine McKee-Smith, GBN News.
Thanks, Josanne. Agriculture Senator Dunstan Campbell says he is confused by the various initiatives being followed concurrently by the Ministry of Agriculture and other arms of the government. Matters such as food security and the revitalization of the agricultural sector during and post-COVID-19, which are closely linked, have seen different plans being launched to solve them. Gerard Joseph is following that story.
The COVID-19 Food Security Mitigation and Response Plan, launched in April, is geared to bolstering farming while providing guaranteed market access via MNIB. However, Senator Campbell believes that the Cabinet-appointed Subcommittee for Agriculture and Fisheries seeks to achieve the same results.
I see, for instance, when we arrive at the situation of presenting a document to the Cabinet-appointed Subcommittee on agriculture, it would be basically the same thing that is being presented down the line, the operational chart for the COVID-19 mitigation plan.
The Agriculture Senator says a more focused approach is needed. He also chimed in on the recent release by the ministry requesting applications for permits for the importation of meat products and live animals.
Because right now there are farmers with poultry products and they can't get it sold. And if you were to look at our food import, the biggest sector of our food import bill is poultry products. So I think that we should go after poultry as much as possible to reflect what the reality of our economic situation. We are importing millions of dollars of poultry products. Now, to issue a license to import live animals and so on may be something that we can do in good times. But in this particular time, we should focus on poultry and fish. This is my way of looking at this, because the farmers and fishers at this point in time would like to have an easing of the situation, because it is difficult for them.
Senator Campbell believes that a unified approach, which involves the participation of farmers, will lead to real growth in the rural economy. Senator Campbell believes that a unified approach, which involves the participation of farmers, will lead to real growth in the rural economy. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Stay tuned now for this evening's GBN Eyesore compliments Clear Vision Eye Center.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
You know us, but we knew. You feel at home with every visit. An experienced team offering personalized courtier service and trendy brand name lifestyle products. We're changing the vision care landscape one customer at a time. Clear Vision Eye Center. People and technology coming together to help you see the world with a clearer vision.
Tonight's Eyes Off features a photograph of a woman dressed in an outfit made from green bananas. The woman is pictured in the street wearing a dress, headpiece and accessories made of green bananas and a backpack made of bananas and banana leaves. You can send in your photo and video submissions via our social media platforms.
Now, Beverly, I have heard that you're a great designer. If I put you to design that dress, do you think it's something you can do?
I already have something in mind, so don't worry, I'll set you up.
For me, it's probably for you or your mommy. So I'm just thinking,
I would like to make it for you.
Looking forward, right? Still to come in the news, I look at the weather and what's happening in the wide and wonderful world of sports. Do stay with us.
Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal, join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made. My name is Hollis Mr. Killamap, and I endorse this message.
Ofio.com.
Sale. All the outlets, hotspot outlets. You're going to go to the Carnage, the Grenville, or the Sutter's hotspot, and you get sales and deals on all items. You can get these on potato, you can get these on saltfish, onion, garlic, mackerel, toilet paper, and we even have the currants and the raisin at $10 per pound, lowest price island-wide. So people just come down or go up or go across, but just make sure and go to hotspots.
Tropical shipping is fast and reliable. Always on time, safe and affordable. Friendly staff here to connect you. Tropical worldwide, you must get you. Shop online and you get it on time. Hassle free to meet your deadline. Consolidate any size, any load with Tropical shipping, so we ship everything. I can't wait to ship with Tropical. I can't wait. No package too big, too small. I cannot wait to ship with Tropical. No package too big, too small. Just ship with Tropical.
Local agents, George F. Huggins and Company, Grenada Limited. Telephone number 440-8787, or visit our website at www.tropical.com. Email us at grenadasales@tropical.com. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life.
The Grenada Distillers Limited joins the government and people of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique in the fight against COVID-19. Only together we can beat this pandemic. As a corporate citizen, we have temporarily stopped the production of rum, and our focus has been on the production of a sanitizing solution to assist in the fight against this dreadful pandemic. We have commenced free distribution to the senior citizens' homes, children's homes, and other vital organizations around the country, and made this product available to you at supermarkets and pharmacies island-wide. We encourage you to please listen and obey the guidelines issued by our health authority and the Royal Grenada Police Force. Together, and only together, we can beat COVID-19.
Once upon a time, we shopped at Wonderland, and then Neverland. But we're all grown up now and no longer believe in fairy tales. So now we just shop at Shoes R Us. At Shoes R Us, we stock the latest in shoes, tops, and jeans for the fashion-conscious lady. We also carry colognes and much, much more. And for the modern trendy male, we have the latest brand name shoes and sneakers, Converse, Reebok, Nike, K-Swiss, Puma, and much more. So check us out at our two convenient locations, Melville Street in St. George and Ben Jones Street in Granville. At Shoes R Us, we say, come shop with us. The Grenada Bankers Association wishes to advise the public that effective Tuesday, May 12, 2020, commercial banks will open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered.
Weather for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique valid for tonight and the following 3 days. Weather tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, with few brief early morning showers possible. Tonight's minimum temperature, 26 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate to slightly rough, waves 6 to 8 feet in open water. A small craft advisory is in effect. Tides high at 7:45 p.m. and low at 1:30 a.m. Sunrise tomorrow, 5:45. Weather for Tuesday, May 12th, partly cloudy and breezy with few brief showers. Weather for Wednesday, May 13th, partly cloudy and breezy morning with few brief showers becoming generally fair by midday. And weather for Thursday, May 14th, generally fair and breezy, becoming partly cloudy at times with few brief morning and nighttime showers possible. Sports is up next.
Good evening, sporting fans. And we start with the word out of the UK. There'd be no pro sport, no professional sport, not even behind closed doors. None will be staged in England until the 1st of June at the earliest. The British government has published a 50-page guidance document detailing how England will begin to ease lockdown measures. Step 2 of that plan, which will not be allowed to start before June 1, includes permitting cultural and sporting events to take place behind closed doors for broadcast while avoiding the risk of large-scale social contact. Speaking in the House of Commons today, Prime Minister Boris Johnson said being able to hold sporting events behind closed doors could provide a much-needed boost to national morale. The document states that reopening venues that attract large crowds, such as sports grounds, may only be fully possible significantly later, depending on the reduction in the number of infections. The top flight Premier League has been suspended since the 13th of March because of the coronavirus pandemic, but is aiming to resume in June with 92 of its 380 fixtures left to play. And there'll be no cricket played in England and Wales until at least the 1st of July, following a decision by the decision-making body. And it's tricky times ahead. The International Olympic Committee says it's 1 year later or never. It has pushed back the 2020 Olympics to 2021. But even as it sets the timeline, the Japanese government is under attack for having tried to save the Olympic Games instead of taking proactive measures to curb the coronavirus.
In the early weeks of the coronavirus pandemic, as other countries were taking aggressive measures to fight the virus, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was fighting to save the Olympics.
How much does the Olympics and his hope that they were going to hold them on time play into his response or lack thereof?
I think they were a very big factor. They didn't want to test a lot because they didn't want to have headline numbers. So once they canceled, suddenly we get lots of cases.
Japan's government and epidemiologists speaking to CNN say low numbers before the Olympic postponement had nothing to do with Tokyo 2020, but a deliberate strategy of minimal testing. Japan focused on targeting clusters of infection, aggressive contact tracing, an approach they say kept the number of cases low and bought the nation time. Now, doctors fear the clock has run out. It's getting harder to keep track of all the clusters, says Dr. Yoshihiro Takayama. I think the battle has only just begun. As its Asian neighbors are coming out on the other side of the pandemic, Japan's problems are piling up. A sudden spike in cases in Tokyo, a warning from Japan's medical association. The public health system is on the brink of collapse.
Are doctors and nurses afraid for their safety?
Yes, we're really anxious, says Katsumi Matsuda with the Medical Workers Union. She says understaffed hospitals are running low on beds, ventilators, and personal protective equipment.
The government should have, taken much more proactive measures to boost the medical resources. They didn't do that at all. Public health experts really took a big gamble because they were not really pushing for testing.
Japan's health ministry tells CNN testing people with a low probability of novel coronavirus would be a waste of resources. We ask people with symptoms to stay home. Prime Minister Abe's latest attempt to encourage social distancing sparked public outrage. This viral Twitter video of Abe led to accusations of a tone-deaf government response. "Who do you think you are?" was a top trend on Twitter. Many accusing Abe of ignoring the struggles of regular Japanese, others defending his right to relax. A poll out Monday from public broadcaster NHK shows 75% of Japanese think the state of emergency came too late. 50% give the government's coronavirus response a poor rating. Analysts say Abe's desire to save the summer games now has the prime minister skating on very thin ice.
And while he skates on thin ice, some people may be able to go to the park. The good news is that from Wednesday, people in England may exercise outside as many times as they wish, though playgrounds, outdoor gyms, and ticketed outdoor leisure venues will remain closed. They will also be able to allow to meet one person from outside their household as long as they stay outdoors and stay 2 meters apart. So, one-on-one sport with someone from outside of the household, such as tennis or cricket nets, will be allowed, provided that participants adhere to the social distancing rules. However, team sports are not permitted, except with members of their own household. The Lawn Tennis Association said that following clarifications from the government, tennis activity will resume outdoors in England from Wednesday with singles play only, unless all players are from the same family in which they can play doubles. Golf courses in England will reopen on Wednesday, but only for solo play or for groups from the same household. That's some good news there. Little by little, places are being reopened. And now, skateboarding. While many are on lockdown, a Brazilian youngster is finding a way to cheer himself up. He took to his skateboard.
I was just like, oh my God, what just happened? When I landed my first 540, my first 720, and my first 900, and now I can conclude the 1080. And now being the first one to land it on vert ramp, I would want to be in the Olympics in whatever kind of way possible. If I do street for the Olympics or if I do ball for the Olympics, whatever, it would be amazing.
Amazing. I wish I could do that. But as my mother said, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. That takes us to the end of the sporting line. When we come back, I look at what's happening across the region and across the world. We'll stay with us. It's time to look around the Caribbean region and to take a scan of the globe. We start in neighboring Trinidad and Tobago, where students at the University of the West Indies based in Barbados say they are not comforted by the financial packages that they have received from the government. They're disappointed with the state's response to their pleas to return home. Our sister station, TV6, has been following that story and sent us this dispatch.
Spokesperson for the group, Chantal Cicheran, said while they are grateful for the $600 Barbados the government sent as a financial care package for them, it is barely sufficient to pay rent and buy food.
We feel extremely disappointed, not only in regards to the lack of response to the students, but also to the persons who hold the belief that we should stay out here longer. There are many more issues that are not being addressed that outweigh the issue of our stay here being indefinitely prolonged.
She said many of them who are final year medical and law students still feel abandoned by the government.
We had the opportunity to go home with the 33 nationals. However, our government neglected to grant us prompt exception. Therefore, we continue to remain stranded.
They are now left wondering whether they'll ever be able to come home.
It is as if every other industry takes precedence over us. $300 US is not sufficient to silence our cries to come home. We cannot afford to charter a flight on our own.
And moving across further south to Guyana, where a high-ranking United States Democratic congressman has strongly urged the U.S. ambassador to Guyana, Sarah Ann Lynch, not to interfere in Guyana's disputed March general elections. The Guyana Elections Commission, GCOM, is conducting a countrywide recount of all ballots in the presence of Caribbean community CARICOM scrutineers. Congressman Hakeem Jeffries accused the U.S. State Department officials of interfering in the elections to benefit Guyana's main opposition People's Progressive Party, CIVIC, the PPPC. Jeffries said, to quote, "To interfere in such an extraordinary way and in a manner which favors one party, the opposition party, potentially to the detriment of the ruling party, is deeply troubling to a lot of us in Washington, D.C., end of quote. And we're going north now to Jamaica, where the government is to hire more health workers. The government of Jamaica is saying that it is planning to boost the staff at the health facilities across the island with up to 1,000 health aides and other professionals to be recruited. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the objective of the pending move is to ensure that the health sector is adequately staffed to deal with the coronavirus, the COVID-19. As part of the COVID-19 response, public health workers have been visiting communities to conduct contact tracing and engage in public health education. They've also been attending to other needs at the various health facilities. And moving now internationally, where we find that Disneyland reopens in China. China has reported 70 new coronavirus infections, and this is the most significant increase since April. But more businesses are resuming. Among them, Shanghai's Disneyland, which welcomed back crowds for the first time in 3 months. Al Jazeera's Katrina Yu reports from Beijing, China.
In
In the US, it's known as the happiest place on earth. Now Disneyland has welcomed crowds back through its gates in China for the first time in months. The government here says the coronavirus outbreak is now under control. And the Shanghai theme park is the first in the global chain to reopen since the beginning of the health crisis.
Right now, here in China and Shanghai, the COVID-19 epidemic conditions are such that we feel with the right measures in place as far as health and safety goes, that we are able to open successfully here.
Visitor numbers are capped at 24,000, roughly 30% of the park's capacity. Temperature screenings and social distancing measures are also in place. That means no selfies with Mickey and Minnie Mouse for now. But fears of a second wave of infections did nothing to deter crowds. Tickets sold out in minutes.
I feel happy. I finally have a place to take my child.
Analysts say the sellout open day points to pent-up consumer demand, but don't expect the Chinese economy to bounce back anytime soon.
I think the overall outlook is going to remain very uncertain and subdued as long as we do not have a treatment or a vaccine for the coronavirus.
And from China, we go to Washington, where the White House task force members are to self-isolate. It has been learned that 3 members of the White House coronavirus task force are self-isolating for 2 weeks after possible exposure to illness. Dr. Anthony Fauci, who has become the public face of the fight against the virus in the U.S., is one of those who will go into quarantine. His agency, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, said he was at relatively low risk due to the degree of his exposure. Dr. Fauci has tested negative. And that's our look around the Caribbean region and around the globe. Do stay with us. We'll remind you of the News at 7 headlines when we come back. Recapping the main points in the news this evening, inspections descend into chaos after a great one-stop shop opening last week.
Murder accused Brenton Paper Williams makes first court appearance.
External borders set to open in the first week of June.
No new reports of cases of coronavirus from health officials in 7 days.
And in sports this evening, we heard that there'll be no professional sport in England until June 1st at the earliest.
And around the globe,
Trinidad and Tobago students stuck in Barbados disappointed in the government's response.
Now, if you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Beverly Telesford.
And I'm Odette Campbell. A reminder to join us at 8:35 for Beyond the Headlines. We are looking back at the Prime Minister's speech and efforts to reopen the Grenadian economy. Michael Ponte Archibald and Mr. Christy Ali will be our panelists this evening. See you at 8:35.